I'm Victoria Cooksey, and this is how to make lion's mane mushrooms. Today's how-to video is all about cooking lion's mane mushrooms, and they are rather pretty, I think. Sometimes you'll see them small like this, sometimes they're a bit more of a bigger piece. So let's go ahead and cut some up. And the stems, as long as it feels like the stem's good, we're going to go ahead and use that too. With mushrooms, I always look, does something feel woody? And if it, like that little piece, I might get rid of. And we're just kind of cutting these up to thin strips. Something that's important to remember on these is while a normal, if this was a cremini mushroom, you could totally rinse it with a little water and it's not going to absorb it. But a mushroom like this is actually very spongy, and if you put this underwater, you would have to squeeze out the excess water. So just a little something to think about. If for some reason there is dirt on there, you can brush it off, or you can even use a toothbrush that hasn't been used for anything else to brush them off as well, and just keep that for mushroom brushing. I'm going to go ahead and keep cutting these up. To cook these lion mane mushrooms, what I've got is large skillet over medium to medium-high heat, and I've got just some olive oil in there to start off. And you can use any type of olive oil you like. Kind of confession, this is my favorite one. I keep trying all different kinds, but I some reason love this one, and it's actually a Spanish one. But anything you like. I'm going to go ahead and add in our mushrooms. And these, you're actually just doing the olive oil only. I'm not putting anything else on them because these are going to give out some water as they cook. And you actually want to brown them up pretty good to really develop the flavor correctly in these. Otherwise, sometimes I think they can be a little bit off flavored, so definitely don't be afraid of getting them brown around the edges. And I went with a nice large skillet here, so I have plenty of room to put them in one layer. These are browning up nicely, and I'm actually going to turn the heat down a little bit now so they don't go too dark. Our mushrooms have pretty much finished cooking right now. And the importance of cooking them for a while, a little bit slower at the end, is the longer these cook, the less bitter they are and the more meaty tasting they become. Now I'm going to put in a little bit of cream. Kind of drizzle that in. And just enough to kind of coat the bottom of the pan, so just drizzle that in slowly. I'm going to guess it's probably about 1/3 of a cup. I'm going to let that simmer a little bit, put a little black pepper. What doesn't go good with pepper? And a little bit of salt. French gray salt here, but you can use any salt you like. Just let that simmer a little bit to let the cream thicken up a touch. Cream's thickened up and cooked down a bit, and I felt it needed just a little bit more black pepper, so good point. Always remember to taste your food. See if you need to add that little extra bit. That looks good. And lastly, we're going to add in about a tablespoon of butter. You could always do half a tablespoon, but that's going to be the extra little richness, glossiness right at the end. So just stir that on in till it melts. Our lion's mane mushrooms are done. Just going to add a little fresh parsley for a garnish there. These are great as a side dish to go with your favorite meat, or you could go more vegetarian and just stir a little pasta in there. So whichever way you want to go, they're fantastic, something a little different. Look for these at like gourmet food shops, farmers markets, natural food stores, and some of your larger supermarkets that tend to have good variety might have some too. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out all my how-to videos, Victoria Cooksey's What's for Dinner, and for a touch of comedy, Victoria Cooksey's Random Dish. Like, subscribe, share, you know the drill.